For the smaller flagship devices from Google, Samsung and Apple, which one has the best battery experience? Well, let's find out in this extreme battery drain test between the Galaxy S24, iPhone 15 and a Pixel 8. Now, first of all, a massive thank you to the guys over at Vodafone UK for supplying not just the iPhone 15, but also the Galaxy S24 for testing and review. There will be links in the description below for all the best deals on the iPhone 15 and the Galaxy S24 on Vodafone UK. And of course, without them supplying this, would not be able to get this content out to you, so really appreciate them. Now, for the battery specs and performance, the Galaxy S24 is packing a 4,000 mAh battery, and this variant is powered by the Exynos 2400. Now, for the iPhone 15, it is approximately packing a 3,349 mAh battery, and it is powered by Apple's A16 Bionic chip. And for the Google Pixel 8, it is packing a 4,575 mAh battery, and it is powered by the Tensor G3. Now, for the setup for this battery drain test, as you know, the resolutions for these smaller devices are pretty much fixed at approximately 1080p out of the box. When it comes to the refresh rate, the Android devices are running at 120 Hz, whereas obviously with the iPhone 15, it is just a 60 Hz only display. So whether this will help or not, we are going to find out in this battery drain test. When it comes to the display brightness calibration, I have disabled any form of adaptive brightness, auto brightness, or true tone or adaptive tone brightness display. This has all been disabled, and with manual brightness on, I've tried my best to calibrate these displays to as close as 200 nits as possible so it's fair across the board. And with our extreme battery drain test, we are running this on mobile data and not Wi-Fi. With that out of the way, let's get into this battery drain test. Let's start things off with this extreme battery drain test between the Galaxy S24, iPhone 15 and the Pixel 8. And yes, the smaller phones are pretty much getting their shine now. We are doing this on mobile data only. So if you've not been here before, you know this is an extreme one where we're going to be running it through a series of very popular apps being used in a more extreme way, but of course still relatable to how I tend to use my phones. Let's add the magnification on the battery and the mobile data status so you can see it in real time. This, of course, was recorded as one continuous video in 4K 60, so definitely watch it at 4K 60 in the highest resolution so you can see all the text. But I have added the magnification so you can see the battery drain in real time. So if you appreciate the setup, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos on the channel and more videos like this on Lover of Tech. Of course, our first interval app is TikTok. And with TikTok, we pretty much go through this for about an hour and we're going through the videos. Of course, auto scroll has been enabled to help with automating this, but sometimes you do see ads and you do have to scroll manually as well. So still paying attention to it in real time to see how the battery drain percentage goes across the board for these devices. TikTok is actually quite reasonable, but again, we'll see some battery drain here to see where we are between these three devices when it comes to mobile data in this extreme battery drain test to see which one goes the distance. And hey, the Pixel 8's got the largest battery, followed by the Galaxy S24 and the smallest on the iPhone 15. So after the first interval, 84% battery on the Galaxy S24, temperature reading of 40.0 degrees Celsius, minus 16% battery loss. The iPhone 15 is on 87% battery, temperature reading of 38.0 degrees Celsius, and minus 13% battery loss. And the Pixel 8 with 89% battery and a temperature reading of 38.1 degrees Celsius, minus 11% battery loss. So the Pixel 8 has had the most efficient run. Again, this doesn't relate to the milliamp hour lost, but again, in terms of percentage, yeah, the Pixel 8 is doing really well. It's doing really, really well. Now, next is Instagram. So we're going through Instagram Reels for an hour. Again, Instagram has been a chokehold when it comes to usage there. So if you want to follow us there for behind the scenes when it comes to stories and more vertical related content, short form and medium length, definitely follow us at loverofTech_BA. For a lot of behind the scenes, this is where you see me going through all the recording and setup of how we get these videos done. So if you want to see more of it, man, that's where you want to hit us up. Instagram in the past does seem to be a much more battery intensive application, even when it comes to using Reels. It seems like there's just a lot more going on with it. And in this interval, 70% battery, 36.5 degrees Celsius, minus 14% battery loss on the Galaxy S24. And the battery on the iPhone 15 is 67%, temperature reading of 39.5 degrees Celsius, minus 20% battery loss. Woo. And then the Pixel 8 is 72% battery, temperature reading of 39.1 degrees Celsius, minus 17% battery loss. Wow, the iPhone took a huge hit here. Minus 20% battery loss And then the most efficient in this round is the Galaxy S24, then followed by the Pixel 8. Ooh. And the temperature on the iPhone is slightly higher compared to the Pixel 8. Really good efficiency from what we're seeing on the S24. This one is our most intensive partner test yet. Co-collaborative live streaming on Instagram Live. And I know people are going to be like, how does this relate to us? Listen, it's something I do on a regular basis when I co-collaborate live stream. And in general, you could be at concerts or places where you would want to live stream and just be in the moment and interact with people. Yeah, this is a very intensive one, especially on mobile data. And this is something that you're going to see right now. Again, just the nature of the full screen, you don't see the battery in real time on the Android phones, but you do it on the iPhone 15. So measurement of 44% battery, and it's 47.7 degrees Celsius minus 26% battery loss in the S24. And then 38% battery, 44.0 degrees Celsius minus 29% battery loss on the iPhone 15. And the Pixel 8 is on 48% battery, 43.8 degrees Celsius minus 24% battery loss. Wow, the Pixel 8 is the most efficient out of all of them in terms of temperature reading, battery loss. Oh, wow, this is crazy. And it's ahead by 4% compared to the S24 and 10% compared to the iPhone. Ooh, this is not looking good for the iPhone. Apple, maybe that small battery is not a good look for it, even with the previous chipset, the A16. Right, okay, 1 hour of YouTube. And I'm gonna say this very clear. It's 4K 60 YouTube that was trying to buffer and play here, but the Galaxy S24 was not having a good time. The most consistent was the Pixel 8. The iPhone 15 did buffer a bit, but it was still very consistent. The Galaxy S24, I think the first 5 to 10 minutes was such a struggle. I had to then drop it down to 1080p 60 to match it to the others so it was fair, then try and bring up to 4K 60. The video performance here when it comes to the mobile data wasn't all that great when it came to the Galaxy S24. Now it's 28% battery, 38.6 degrees Celsius minus 16% battery loss. iPhone 15 is 17% battery, 40.7 degrees Celsius minus 21% battery loss. Ouch. And then the Pixel 8, 32% battery, 40.5 degrees Celsius minus 16% battery loss. Oh, it looks like Google are really in their bag with this one and they might pull a win. Or is the Galaxy S24 gonna claw it back? Or is some magic gonna happen with the iPhone 15 that's gonna bring it into a good place? I don't know. I really don't know, but let's see how things run. YouTube Music next, and of course, my favorite album and rap album of all time, definitely the College Dropout from Kanye West. And we're pushing through this. And if you're looking at the battery percentage on the iPhone, things are not looking good, bruv. And once we get to the 4 hour, 30-minute mark, approximately hits 5%, temperature reading of 39.9 degrees Celsius. And if you compare that to the Galaxy S24, it's 22%. And it's got a temperature reading of 36.0 degrees. And if you even look at the Pixel 8, 23% and a temperature reading of 38.6 degrees. This is not a good look for the iPhone 15 in our extreme battery drain test on mobile data. It's not looking good. And when I say it's not looking good, boy, we are packing in. Look at the magnification in real time. We're on the last 1% and it packs in at 4 hours, 46 minutes and 59 seconds. Nah, this is not a result that inspires confidence at all. The battery size on this iPhone 15, regardless of Apple's own chipset, which is obviously the generation before, this isn't looking good because at this stage you have 20% battery on the S24, 34.4 degrees Celsius, and you've got 20% battery on the Pixel 8 at 37.0 degrees Celsius. Ooh, level peggings. And this is actually a bit more impressive on the S24 size because it is working with a 4,000 milliamp hour battery compared to a 4,575 milliamp hour battery on a Pixel 8. Okay, let's go to the final interval for the YouTube Music and see where we are in terms of the battery. And for the Galaxy S24, it's 18% battery left, 33.3 degrees Celsius minus 10% battery loss to the last hour interval. And the Pixel 8 is at 17% battery, 36.0 degrees Celsius minus 15% battery loss. Oh, Google suffered in this one. Google suffered in this one, and it looks like Samsung is clawing it back. This is going to be a close call, because next we are in Twitter Spaces, and we're simulating a Twitter space where discussions happen. This is, again, very relatable to me in terms of jumping on Twitter Spaces and having discussions with, fans, audience, other creators that have, Twitter Spaces there. And you can see it in real time. Yeah, things are closing. At this point, you're seeing about 12% battery on the Samsung compared to 8% on the Pixel 8. Is the Pixel 8 going to make it to the next hour interval for the 4K 60 video in the camera? Ooh, it's really draining. 9%. Then you're comparing it to 4%. This is crazy. Okay, final interval. 8% battery on the Galaxy S24, 34.1 degrees Celsius, minus 10% battery loss, and then 4% battery left. 37.5 degrees Celsius, minus 13% battery loss. Yeah, the Pixel 8 really suffered this one. So it's going to have to really pull the magic, because we know Samsung sometimes suffers from efficiency issues when doing 4K 60 recording. So where are we going when it comes to how things will finish up? So 6-hour mark. And where we have on the time 6 hours and 6 minutes, 5% battery on the Samsung, 2% battery on the Pixel. Oh, the Samsung is draining quick, and the Pixel's also draining too. Now moving over, where are we when it comes to the finishing? Is the Google going to be able to hang on and cause an upset and have its first win? Oh my goodness, let's see on this mobile data extreme battery drain test. Where are we? So 6 hours and 8 minutes. 4% battery on the Galaxy S24, 1% battery left on the Pixel 8. Oh my goodness, it looks like Samsung are gonna hold on with the Exynos 2400, 4000 mAh battery compared to the Pixel on the Tensor G3 with 4575 mAh battery. What do we have in terms of the finishing time? It is going to be the Google Pixel 8 with a finishing time of 6 hours, 13 minutes and 28 seconds. And what we are going to be seeing is a final temperature reading of 41.0 degrees Celsius. Oh man, it's crazy. It's crazy. Minus the little blip that we had with the buffering and how it didn't really hold its own well when it came to the, battery drain part of watching YouTube. Yeah, I've got to give the consistency to the Pixel on this one, but Samsung held on. Temperature reading 43.4 degrees Celsius at this point. But then, no time sooner, we do have 6 hours, 14 minutes and 4 seconds to the finish for the Galaxy S24 with a final temperature reading of 43.1 degrees Celsius. So in third place is the iPhone 15 with a finishing time of 4 hours, 46 minutes and 59 seconds. And I'm going to be honest with you, this result does not really inspire confidence. This type of battery experience really has you thinking what you need to be doing and how to manage it. Of course, in less extreme situations like what I've created, even on mobile data, you might have a good time, but that considered on the 5 hours, yeah, this one was a struggle for the iPhone 15. And then in second place, just by a sliver, is the Pixel 8 with a finishing time of 6 hours, 13 minutes and 28 seconds. And I think Google have overcompensated really well with the battery capacity and the battery experience here. At 4575 mAh battery in a phone this size is great. And I think it really overcompensates for the efficiency of the Tensor G3 and probably the state of the modem that is using when it comes to mobile data for it to get this far. And it was the most consistent throughout the whole battery drain test with no buffering when on mobile data compared to the other two, especially the Galaxy S24. And it was not even that far behind, it was less than a minute. So you know what, I would actually personally call it a draw. But in this particular situation, it did come second place. And then in first place by just 36 seconds of a lead is the Galaxy S24 with a finishing time of 6 hours, 14 minutes and 4 seconds. This is actually a good showing for the Exynos 2400 variant of the Galaxy S24 using a 4000 mAh battery. This is a good amount smaller than what you get in a Pixel 8. So it's a good showing. Again, my only little critique and pet peeve at the time was just the initial buffering that it had at the beginning of the YouTube test, where I had to drop it down from 4K 60 to 1080p 60 and sometimes even 720p 60 just to give it room to buffer. Meaning I had to do the same for the others and it was still buffering. It got to a point before I went up. Away from that part, Gotta give it to it. It's had a good showing and it does technically win, even if it's just under by 1 minute. Now, did the results of this battery drain test between the Galaxy S24, iPhone 15 and the Pixel 8 shock you at all? Or was it exactly what you expected? Let me know in the comment section below. That's it for me, Ben from Lover of Tech. If you enjoy videos like this, you know exactly what to do. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad, so you don't miss any future videos on the channel. I hope you're all safe during this time. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.